Hey everybody, it's Rich Tola, and thanks for tuning in to Tola Talks on Thursday, March 19th, 2015. It's also Throwback Thursday, so we're going back 20 years to the year 1995. But first, a quick get your shit together word, and this goes beyond a get your shit together word. I mean, this is crazy. It baffles the mind. Did you guys see the news? A stranger stabbed a pregnant woman who was 7 months pregnant and cut out the baby. It's really a sad story, the state of society now. 26-year-old pregnant woman arrives off of a Craigslist ad to buy baby clothes in Colorado. Gets assaulted by this 34-year-old whack job who actually shows up at the hospital with the baby and says she had a miscarriage. The same hospital that the woman who she stabbed. Makes no sense. It's crazy stuff. You got to be careful out there when you're buying clothes off of these or anything off of these internet sites. I mean, off of Craigslist in Georgia, a couple was killed when they went to buy a vintage car. This is crazy. This woman faces attempted murder, assault, and child abuse. She should face murder charges and she should be fried. I don't know, people. You got to be careful out there. Well, the good news is police stations are setting up safe zones for buyers and sellers to transact, but I don't know. That's the ultimate and get your shit together words. On that note, let's go around the globe for the latest news. Some more positive things, shall we? Well, we're calling this first one, I Told You So, or Say It Ain't So, Joe. Well, remember Joe Namath back in 1969, Super Bowl III, he declared a victory. He said, we're going to win against the Baltimore Colts, which he did. He was also MVP. Well, the Eastern Washington coach, basketball, NCAA, that's the championships going on. He guaranteed a win over number 4 seed Georgetown. Now, Eastern Washington is seeded 13. They're playing Georgetown tonight, 7 o'clock Pacific time. Go check it out. Talk about confidence on a national radio show, the Jim Rome Show. He said they're going to win. So, hey, the proof is in the pudding. Let's see if he's going to eat his words. All right, on that note, let's go over to Breast is Best. This is some cool news. A new study that claims that babies who are breastfed have greater intelligence as adults. Yeah, they're saying that babies that were breastfed for a year or more, by the time they're 30 years old, have a 4-point higher IQ than people who didn't. I mean, we know that as young children, elementary school, their points are about 7.5 higher. But this is good news for adults. And they also say that adults that have been breastfed, earn roughly 20% more income and are more educated. So, hey, I don't know. They say the reason for this is that breast milk is rich in long-chain polyunsaturated fatty acids, which is important in brain growth and development. You get that from salmon and shellfish, by the way. And, hey, teenagers out there, it's only for babies, so don't get any crazy ideas. All right, let's go over to the next story called Old Blue Eyes. This is kind of cool. Hey, did you ever wonder why people are more attractive or considered more attractive when they have blue eyes? Well, check it out. Evolutionary psychologists have been saying that blue-eyed women in the Paleolithic societies had a better chance of standing out in the crowd, thus they were more attractive. Hey, we always like the movie stars with the blue eyes. Remember Paul Newman, Daniel Craig. But they say 17% of the world's population has blue eyes. That's it. But forget about it. There's a new company out there that could turn your brown eyes blue. That's right. It's called Stroma Medical, and they have a new laser procedure that eliminates the brown melanin that's in your eyes, and they eliminate that, which turns your eyes blue. Now, it takes a few weeks. By the way, it costs $5,000. It's not approved in the U.S. They had 17 people in Mexico do it, 20 people in Costa Rica do it. Takes 20 seconds. The critics are saying, the ophthalmologists are saying, well, you're releasing particles in the eye, could cause glaucoma. They don't know the long-term effects. Again, it's not approved in the U.S., but let me tell you, after this show, I'm going to Mexico. All right. On that note, let's go to Throwback Thursday, 1995, 20 years ago. Hey, for most of you viewers on YouTube, well, the YouTube, there's 1 billion views on YouTube, but they say 82% are between the ages of 14 and 17. So you weren't even a twinkle in your parents' eye in 1995, but I remember it well. Living in New York City, I sold my first building, my first commercial building in 1995. Pretty cool year. Things were a lot different. The Dow Jones closed above 5,000 for the first time. Average monthly rent was $550. How about that? I remember I was paying $400 a month to share a place in New York City. Average price of a house was $68,000. Gallon of gas was about $1. Stamp with 32 cents for a stamp. Inflation was 2.8%. You know what inflation rate is today? 0.1%. Hey, how about that? All right, what else was going on in 1995? You know, the good old days. Here we go. Well, there was a truck bomb that devastated the Oklahoma City Federal Building. I remember that, killing 168 people. That's when the Washington Post and the New York Times, they published this 35,000-word Unabomber manifesto. That crazy guy was running around. U.S. pulled out of Somalia, and they imposed economic sanctions against Iran. I don't know if you remember in the UK, right? One of the oldest investment banks, Barron's Bank, collapsed over this Nick Leeson. He lost $1.4 billion by trading on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Crazy thing that happened in 1995 is O.J. Simpson was found innocent. Everybody knew he did it. That was insane, by the way. Major League Baseball player strike ended. 232 days worth. That was pretty good news. Windows 95 was released and the JavaScript was introduced. And this guy by the name of Steve Fawcett, remember him, he became the first person to cross the Pacific Ocean in a hot air balloon. Pretty cool stuff. What was happening in the world of music? Aside from Bruce Springsteen winning Song of the Year, Streets of Philadelphia, the Grateful Dead announced they were breaking up. Pretty sad news. Smashing Pumpkins were big. Alanis Morissette, Blues Travelers, Garth Brooks, Rage Against the Machine, and Sheryl Crow. She had Record of the Year with All I Want to Do. In the film world, you know I love that. What was happening? Sandler's, Billy Madison, The Usual Suspects. Kevin Spacey had a great year. He was in Seven also with Brad Pitt. Remember that was a wild movie. Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman. Heat with De Niro and Pacino played together. Val Kilmer did a great job in that. Tour Story with Tom Hanks. Casino, Scorsese. What a movie that was. And one of my favorites of all time, Braveheart. We talked about that the other day on St. Paddy's Day. Mel Gibson's film, and the winner, right? 1994. It was released on July 6, 1994. Tremendous movie, 3 thumbs. Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks, that ran away, won 6 Oscars that year. So pretty cool year for 1995 for those of you who weren't around. On that note, I'm Rich Tola, and remember, dreams do come true. But hey, what do I know?